Hey, what's going on? Well, I have a preview for you guys on Killzone 3. It was just announced at the beginning of the week, and the first thing I thought when I heard Killzone 3, it just flashed back into my head, and I thought of all the crazy things that Killzone 2 had to offer. So I thought I would, give a little preview for it, and the first thing I actually would want to talk about is the most noticeable thing in Killzone 2, which would be the amazing graphics. Killzone 2's graphics were astronomically better than any other title at the time. The dynamic lighting, the character models, the movement, and just the overall realism in the game, it put you in an atmosphere that was unparalleled from any other game. The only other game that I really think that graphically challenges it or can surpass it is Crysis, but as far as consoles go, you're really not going to get any closer with a first-person shooter. You're not going to get close. It's just that is the best looking first-person shooter on a console, hands down. But other than that, I mean, it's a great game. It's more than just graphics. Everyone's like, it's just a graphics game. It's not. In Killzone 3, I really think they're trying to show that. The first thing that they let loose as far as to the media, they said that Naughty Dog helped co-create the graphics engine for Killzone 3. Now, a lot of people are like, oh my god, Naughty Dog's co-creating Killzone 3 and it's going to be awesome. Well, it really doesn't mean that they're co-creating the entire game. It just means that they lent a hand with the development of the technology they're using to make the game. You see, because when Sony first-party developers, when they figure something new out about the hardware, because the PS3 is relatively still new, it has new technology in it. When they figure something new out about it, they actually tell it to everyone else. And if you look in the game credits, read the game credits and read through, you'll actually see that in a lot of PlayStation 3 exclusives, they give credit to people from other companies. So like God of War 3, for example, they gave credit to Naughty Dog, they gave credit to people from Guerrilla, they gave credit to people from Insomniac, because they all figure out new things about the hardware, how to push it even further. They're not like, oh, we found it, we're going to keep this to ourselves. It's actually it's a big community with the PlayStation first-party developers, and that's why there's really not anything that can challenge the PlayStation experience. Not being a fanboy or anything, but I don't really hear about Microsoft or PC developers saying, here, hey, this is a new thing I just found out. And it might have something to do with the fact that PS3 is it's a mystery still to some people. So I think that's a cool little tidbit for everyone to know that Naughty Dog is just helping Guerrilla. They're not like co-creating the game. It's still going to be Killzone. And actually, the first thing that they reveal in the screenshots actually is, number one, you're going to be on a snow map. So what I'm expecting is different environments. They're actually saying the locales are going to be different from just the grimy inner city workings of the war zone from Killzone 2. Because, I mean, they already show a snow map going on. So I'm hoping we can see maybe some grass, maybe some forests. I would like to see the graphics of a forest in Killzone, because everyone was saying, I'd like to see a forest, Crysis has forests. Well, I mean, I would too. I mean, who wouldn't? So that would be a cool little thing if they could have that, a type of map like that. Another thing they're saying is the jetpacks from Killzone Liberation are going to come back. Now, all the Halo people, calm down and don't try to say that they're copying Halo Reach, because first off, Halo Reach isn't the first shooter to ever use a jetpack, and number two, they were already in a previous title that was released before Halo Reach was even thought up. So don't try to come at me with, well, Killzone's just copying Halo. It's not. The jetpacks have been in the Killzone storyline for a while, and they've actually said when you shoot the guys on the jetpacks, they have crazy ways of dying. So they shot one guy. IGN had a hands-on with the game. They actually got to play a level. And they said that when they shot a jetpack guy and they shot his tank, he went flying off like a bottle rocket and popped up in the sky. So I mean, that's pretty cool for me. I'm looking forward to seeing that. They actually said you can use the jetpack too, and it's a way to get through platforming stages of the game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that ties into the whole overall experience. The other thing they're saying is the combat has been refined. The cover system's a lot tighter. They said that the shooting feels a lot tighter. And I thought it was pretty tight in Killzone 2. I thought for a lean and peek type first-person cover system, they did a very good job. It felt like playing Finger Twister sometimes, but I mean, it was good for the most part. And the controls, everyone complained about the controls for Killzone 2. I honestly just feel that they're just brainwashed from Call of Duty. I mean, I'm guilty of this too, because that's actually the reason why I sold the game in the first place. Was like, oh, Killzone 2, it's a great game, but the controls, they're just whack. But honestly, I mean, there's ways to get around it. There's actually a setting on Killzone 2 to make the button layout just like Call of Duty. It's the alternate 2 setting, and then you put zoom hold on. I don't know for any of you people who own the game and just don't know what to do. And as far as like the weight on your guy, I actually like it now, because when I'm thinking about it, you're playing Call of Duty online, and everyone on Call of Duty knows how to aim. It's like so easy to aim in that game because it's chock full of auto aim, and it's just noob. It's noob friendly. It's all it is. Nothing against it. It's just that's the way it is. Killzone 2, on the other hand, doesn't have any auto aim, and there's weight on your guy. But it adds to the experience though, because when you're playing online, not only are you struggling with the controls, but you have to take into account everyone else is too. So not everyone is super accurate on the game, and that's how it is on the real battlefield. It's not like everyone's a marksman in the Marines or in the SAS. Not every single member of that organization is a trained, skilled marksman. Most of them are, but not all of them. So that's how it is. I mean, and I love that. I think it adds to a little bit more to the realism. I hate throwing that word out there, realism, because it is a video game, but that, I mean, how else do you want me to describe it? The other thing that they've said about Killzone 3, comparing it to Killzone 2, which there's going to be a lot of this going on, obviously, because there's nothing else to base it off of. They said the maps in Killzone 3 and the overall game, the scale of the game is going to be much bigger than Killzone 2 ever was. And I find this surprising, because I really think that Killzone 2 was a very large game. But not only that, the biggest thing about Killzone 2 was the density. It was a very dense game. It wasn't like an empty game. An empty game, for example, would be like a Resistance. It's a very big game, but you don't really feel like the intimacy of it. It's just, you know, it's a big game. That's all it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I like a dense game because it feels like it's harder to get through, and it feels like you're actually pushing this uphill battle. So I mean, I'm wondering how that's going to feel with them up in the scale. Are they going to keep the same density? They've actually been as bold as to say they're going to, the footprint for the maps for Killzone 3 are 10 times the size of the maps of Killzone 2. And if that's true, those are some big ass maps, because they've actually said, not saying that Killzone 2 was small, but that's as much as they can get it at the time. Obviously now they can code better and they have better technology. There have been several breakthroughs in the PlayStation 3's architecture, and I'm really expecting this to be a all-out title that's just going to be one for the ages. I'm pretty sure co-op's going to be in the game, because that's one of the big gripes everyone had. Oh, I can't play co-op. It didn't bother me, but putting a horde mode type thing in Killzone would not bother me at all. You wouldn't, put it this way, I wouldn't be complaining about it. So hopefully we can see something cool like that, some type of arena-based co-op where you get waves of enemies, because I love waves of enemies. It's a cool thing. Anything like Nazi Zombies horde mode, I dig it. I really do. The other thing that I'm really wondering if they're gonna, like I said, the different locations you're not just gonna be in the same little setting the whole time. So obviously the color scheme is gonna be different, and the color scheme is gonna be more wide. A lot of people criticized them for the color scheme they picked. A lot of them said, you know, oh well, the only reason why it looks that good is because it has gray, brown, and light brown. So, you know, maybe they can fix that. I necessarily don't agree with everyone with that whole color scheme thing, because I see green and I see blue and I see red. I see other colors in the game. I mean, I guess you're just not looking hard enough, but that's just my opinion. You have yours. I like Killzone 2, and actually, like I said, it got me hyped up about it again. And I actually was going on the forums, and everyone was like, oh, look at all the people showing up because Killzone 3 has been announced. Let the hype train go, because Killzone 2 was, man, that game was hyped. There is probably not another game, with the exception of a Halo game or a Call of Duty game, that got that much hype. And I sold it, like I said, but I bought it back. I bought the game back because I love it. I think it's an awesome game, and I actually didn't like the controls, but I went back to it, and now I'm actually liking the controls. I actually don't mind them, and I think it has something to do with the fact that I hated Modern Warfare 2 so much, because now, like, when I go back to games that I necessarily had problems with, the little gripes and little things I had problems with, they're non-existent now, because I'm so used to complaining about Commando or Lightweight or all the other bogus things that go on in Modern Warfare 2. That game just gives me nightmares. But I think it's a great game. I honestly feel that more people should check it out. We can always use more people on the servers. There's nothing wrong with more people. It's more fun. And the community in that game is a lot different. But I'm not going to get too much into that. I mean, it's what it is. It is what it is. If you play Killzone 2, you know what I mean. If you don't, you should definitely check it out. And if you have any questions about the games, maybe you don't like the controls, maybe you need help with your sensitivity, your button mapping, ask me, because I know pretty much as anybody else would know. So go ahead and ask me if you need help with any of that. I'll help you, and it should help you with the game. The other thing I want to talk about real fast is E3. I'm expecting more than ever now to see stuff about Killzone 3 at E3. IGN, like I've said, has already had a hands-on. They've already played a level of the game. So I'm expecting to see that. Maybe we'll see that level at E3. I'm super hyped for it right now, but I'm trying to control the hype. You know, I don't want to get too hyped for it. That's a dangerous thing. It's never safe to get too hyped for a game. But let me know when you guys think about Killzone 3 or about Killzone 2. If any of you play, if anybody of you just hate it, I mean, just let me know in the comment section. That's your guys' section to give me your feedback. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a nice day.